Okay, we start off on a green day. We are currently in Fort Nelson. Fort Nelson originally was obviously established by the Army as a fort in Canada. I'm in British Columbia. Now, as you can see, we got clouds rolling in, but they're all behind me, and so I won't have to worry about them. In front of me, it'll be pretty much just cloudy skies. But I'm still on the Alaskan Highway, chugging on down. I'm actually a little nervous because I spent so much time in the Yukon and Alaska. I don't know what it's like to ride in traffic in a long time, so gotta get my city swerve on. So kind of an interesting thing when you just like deal with cars. I'm not used to like looking around a lot for cars. I'm used to looking for animals, but that's a side thing. I'll get used to it pretty quickly. You know, it's nice. It's both nice and sad. It's nice that I'm getting back into a little more stable like civilization, so there's a lot more choices, options, rather than camping or just like a few places to choose from. And now you're in a place where like, I don't feel like this city, I need to go to that city. You know, the next city's like only 20 miles away, not like 100. Now here was a kind of a treat. Leaving Fort Nelson, I was headed off, and this was actually some of the coldest weather I got on this trip. I went up to the Arctic Circle, and this was some of the coldest. It dipped down into the 30s, like almost low 30s, and I think the thing that really got to it is that it was like kind of a misty rain. It was like a slight drizzle to a mist. A bunch of the time was just got into everything, and I can ride, I like riding, I don't mind riding in the rain, I don't mind riding in the cold, but riding in the cold rain, that can be painful. And this was one of those times, and just kind of chilling around, and whew, wow, it was something. For the most part, this was kind of a short ride. I had some other things that I wanted to do, and I got up late, I slept in, and I was still tired. You know, the trip was actually starting to wear on me, and you know, I didn't have the kind of same excitement and enthusiasm that you did. I mean, when you're up in a place you've never been before, or like the Arctic Circle, you're just running on adrenaline, and the days of I guess my adrenal gland was getting tapped out by this point. So I was a little less enthusiastic kind of going around. I remember that gas station very clearly. One, because it was drizzling on me and it was really cold. And the second reason, it took me like 5 minutes to figure out how to operate it because it's set up for basically trucks. And there's also no hood, there's no cover for you to actually stand under while it's actually raining on you. So, especially with a motorcycle, you're pumping your gas, you actually have to like cover the gas tank so you don't want water getting into your gas tank. But that was so cold. It involves you like setting things up at the pump, then going into this thing, interacting with this computer, then heading back out. And it took a couple times going back and forth before I actually figured it out. Oh, but this was kind of actually kind of fun when you kind of get down to it is because sometimes suffering makes fond flashbacks. That's the only way I can really describe it. You fondly remember your suffering. Fort St. John's. Definitely feel like I'm back in civilization. Whew, been a little wet. I got into this town, Grand Prairie, and the one thing I could really say about it, it was the first like large, well, kind of city that I had seen in a long time. Since Fairbanks. It had been just like so long that I had actually gotten so used to just riding on a road, a small road, highway, technical highway, because all this is still technically the Alaskan highway. I got so used to just riding on this 2-lane technical highway so alone that when I got to the city and there's like actual traffic, you start getting nervous because you're like, oh my God, it's been so long since I've ridden on it. And it's probably been like at least 2,000 miles or more. And who knows, like a week, and you're just, wow, how crazy is this? But you learn it real quick. For the most part, the rest of the way was just kind of straight thing. I saw some land that was being fracked. Oh well. And I saw something on the Alberta pipeline that they're building to build an oil pipeline across Canada to, I guess, put a pipeline that just take land from oil from wherever they're mining or drilling it to Vancouver so it can be shipped, I guess maybe to China or wherever it's going. So this one was great because eventually I got to Dawson Creek. And the special thing about Dawson Creek is it is technically the start of the Alaskan Highway. Granted, I'm doing it in the opposite direction. Still counts as traveling it though.